Welcome back to the Rundown, everyone. I'm your host, Nick Simonson. Great to be with you here at the beginning of the ice fishing season. There are a lot of great opportunities coming across the ice belt and throughout Runnings territory to get on some great fishing. And a lot of folks like to start out with panfish. Runnings has the gear that you need to connect with bluegills, crappies, and yellow perch this time of year and all throughout the ice season. And one of the best ways to connect, particularly with bluegills, crappies, and other panfish, is to utilize a spring bobber rod in conjunction with your sonar. Now, spring bobbers are very simple pieces of technology that attach to the end of a rod, or they come built in on a rod, such as options available from HT or St. Croix, where you can buy that spring bobber rod all set up to catch fish. Now, when you're fishing for particularly bluegills and crappies, they can have a very subtle bite. They'll inhale a bait and spit it out quickly, and with a standard rod, you might not be able to notice that tiny little take. But with a spring bobber rod, you'll see that spring drop down or bounce back up. When that line is tight, it shows that inhale, it shows that subtle bite, and you can set the hook very, very quickly. When in other cases, you would not be able to detect that bite on a standard rod. So couple that spring bobber rod with your panfish presentations and keep those baits small, 1/32, 1/64, maybe even a jig as small as 1/100th of an ounce on super light line like 1 pound test or 2 pound test. These subtle presentations keep your offerings natural looking, and they allow you to overcome that strong sense of sight that both bluegills and crappies have. So utilize that spring bobber rod to detect the bites and keep things natural with light line and small jigs, tipped with live baits such as maggots or waxworms, or use some Berkeley gulp or a plastic tail, a tiny plastic tail, to give that illusion of something that's moving down there. That is going to set fish off, and you will be able to detect the bite. Now, another great way to set yourself up for panfish success is utilizing your sonar when employing a spring bobber rod. What I like to do is when I see fish rising on my Vexilar to come up to my bait, I move my spring bobber into my field of view as I'm looking at my Vexilar screen. That way, when the red mark comes up and covers up that green mark, which represents my jig in the water column, I can watch my spring bobber rod for that little beep and see that bounce and see that twitch and then set the hook. So by utilizing your high-tech technology with your low-tech technology like this spring, you are able to better connect with fish when you're out there on the ice. Now, Runnings has both ends of the spectrum covered for you. Like I said, you can invest in a brand new rod, fully equipped with a spring bobber and ready to go for the season, or you can buy spring bobbers separately that you can tack onto your favorite setup. Maybe you have a super light panfish setup and you're just looking to add that extra spring and that extra sensitivity. The friendly staff at Runnings can help you find the spring bobbers that will help you seal the deal. Additionally, Runnings has a wide variety of ice sonar available from brands like Markham, Vexilar, and Humminbird that are going to allow you to see what's going on beneath the water and combine that high-tech with a low-tech spring and close the deal on some great pan fishing this time of year. So stop in at your local Runnings and check it out. You'll be able to take this technology out on the ice, not only here in the early stretch of the season, but also as things slow down or become more challenging, and you're going to need that sensitive equipment, that sensitive spring, to detect the bites from crappies and panfish like bluegills and yellow perch. So go and invest in that information, invest in some of the knowledge that's going to come from experimenting with a spring bobber rod and using your sonar to close the deal. Your friendly staff at Runnings will get you all set up for this great ice season that's ahead of us. I hope you'll check it out and employ this out there on the ice and become a better fisherman as a result. For the Rundown, I'm Nick Simonson. Good fishing to you.